Hello, Horizon Worlds. Once again, I am El Blanco, and this is the Meta News Business segment. Creation of Miss Rocks, and you all know her. And this is the business segment that we do every Monday. And just before we get started tonight, I want to remind you, if you have a interest in being interviewed on the sub segment of the show called the Blanco Business Buzz, make sure to contact Miss Roxy at the Instagram channel, and that's Meta News with a underscore. Uh, no, it's Meta News with two S's underscore, and that is the handle at the Instagram channel. And tonight we have Johnny Gage Jr. 18 visiting us, and we have Tyree 1000. We appreciate you guys being in the studio tonight. That's why we're giving you a shout out because at Meta News, we are the premier news source for Horizon Worlds as we strive to bring a total presence of professionalism. And if you don't believe us, go to the worlds of the Meta News studios, the various studios, and so forth. So, Tyree, if you touch that plaque, yeah, there you go. You can get in. So, now, tonight, there was a question presented to Miss Rocks by some newcomers that are new to Horizon Worlds, and they're constantly coming through the studio on a regular basis now. We're having people come, and we're not even doing promotions or advertisements or anything like that, but they're finding their way here as they're seeing some of our segments on the YouTube channel, and that new YouTube channel is Meta News for Horizon Worlds with a S VR, and that's the YouTube channel. And so they're seeing those things because since I've been a part of the Meta News team, I've as the business anchor, I decided to make sure that I not only bring general business concepts or general business ideas. I start bringing in private sector type information that most people do not understand. They're not aware of. Showing you different things, such as helping you identify that there are different entities, business entities that you can actually use as opposed to the standard LLCs and nonprofits and things like that. Entities that could operate in not just local jurisdiction where you find a lot of restrictions and regulations, but as well as international jurisdictions where just by election, how do you elect to exist, or how you elect to do business, and what jurisdictions you would prefer. So I thought that by bringing that type of information to Horizon World's Meta News, it would be advantageous for any members whatsoever who took an interest in such type of information and topics. So once again, this is another shout out going to Beezy, saying because it was Beezy who introduced me to Ms. Rocks. Once he understood that I was legitimate in terms of what I'm talking about, because um, you know, he's a conversationalist, he's an intelligent person, but at the same time, he's really doing well and has been doing well as far as being one of the pioneers in Horizon Worlds. And you rarely hear anything saying concerning BZ as opposite. So therefore, tonight, one of the questions that's been posed by some newcomers is, as a newcomer to Horizon Worlds and seeking to build their world, how do you get your world acknowledged, or how do you get foot traffic? How do you bring attention to your world? Okay, so in answering that question, it could be kind of challenging to give you one or two correct answers. So there will always be just an oversight, or not just an oversight per se, but let's just say a perspective by which you have to understand the environment, and you have to understand the culture. And even in here, we've been in here long enough to have subcultures, what some people call cliques. But we're not talking about cliques. I just want to say subcultures, because we have different approaches in Horizon Worlds, because there are so many opportunities when you have a social platform that engages on such personal levels, to the point that it's almost like living in the real world. It's just that we're in a whole different jurisdiction again in this environment. So you have to think of the different things that involves this particular Horizon world, when you start trying to determine how do you get popularity or bring attention to your builds and your creations. So first and foremost, the builders are the backbone of this, this platform, because it's all about building. That's what it's all about. Because the builders help Horizon Worlds um, itself, position itself for market share in order to be able to get this platform to become as robust as it is. You need investors, you need marketing, you need advertisement, you need all these things. And instead of paying billions of dollars over the years trying to pay experts to do it at those rates, it's almost like an open platform, like Linux was, where we come in, we build, we try to master the platform, and by us doing so, they're getting all the expert content from the members. They're getting it from the community itself, and as we're building, they're testing it, and then they're making modifications, and that's why we have so many updates all the time as they're trying to master, right, the perfect algorithms for all the capabilities that we have and the capabilities that they're adding and including as time goes along, because everything must coincide with the limitations of the headsets themselves, as well as the platform, as well as the extent of capabilities that they would give a world. So right now we have worlds that can hold up to 31 people, 32 or 31, something like that, and but that cuts back on the building, because you're only going to have a certain amount of objects and geometric complexities and things like that to make the world as I guess as popular as you're trying to make it. So in knowing that, let me slow it down and break it back down. In knowing these things, one of the first and foremost things is, as a builder, you must really learn how to build. So you may want to position yourself with builders, and it won't be that easy, because all builders are busy. They stay busy. But if you could take some courses, and because they do have courses, they do have people that teach. You have Hardy West that teaches things, and you have different people that teach scripting. You just have some solid people that actually throw down in here that actually teaches, and you can join their classes, or you can find classes through them, and other people who are studying as well, to learn how to script, learn how to build, and so forth. So in the beginning, we would just team up with people and come in and just hang out, while they're building, and we learn the basic techniques. And once you learn enough techniques, you start doing your own thing, and then you will improve as time goes along, because you're just really learning how to use the tools and learning how to use features. And so once you get to a certain level, people may invite you on projects. And if they invite you on a project, that's because you have a skill set from what you developed thus far, to be brought in on projects, and and that would be, pretty much something that they could use. Like, for instance, if you're good at snapping and putting together foundations, okay, you could be doing that while they're working on more complex things. So now what we have to consider, and what we have to think about in getting past the building part is, okay, let's say you have gotten to the point where you built your world, and you're really trying to learn how to get traffic there. Okay, they have different techniques to do so, right? So let's say, for instance, you build a world. So you have a world built, and you want to start getting people to be aware of your builds. So the first thing you can do is make sure you have a VR Instagram channel, and through that Instagram VR channel, that's where most people do their advertising, marketing, keeping up with each other, looking at live sessions and so forth. And they really communicate through the Instagram channel. So guess what? You start putting videos up, you start putting posts up. You go and follow as many people that has VR tag behind their names, because 9 times out of 10, if they have that, they're really a Horizon World member or VR chat member or whatever. So you do that first, because then you can actually get people to know what you're doing. And if you're dropping your own content, and dropping some good reels that people enjoy, they're going to subscribe and follow. So every time you post something, the followers will actually see it. That's the first step. Now, they're seeing that, okay, well, you put something on Instagram today that you have a grand opening, and oh, in your grand opening, you also stated that you're gonna have, let's say, I'm gonna give a shout out to another person. Let's say my boy, Victor 3000 was DJing it, or a Two Wavy or Star UTG. Okay, so let's just say those are gonna be the DJs. So guess what? A lot of people are gonna come there because they're gonna follow those guys. Everybody who knows who's who, they're coming, right? So think about it. You only have a maximum of 30 some people or max to come to your place. So we do things like different techniques that we do that are still valid here in Horizon Worlds is we find the people who were known or are known to have big followings. So most people would say, hey, what can I do, El Blanco? And I say, well, you know what I did? I remember that, when I first came in, Writer's Pen was one of the top freestylers, hip hop people like freestyle. So guess what? Writer's Pen show up just by getting him. You got about 10, 20 people that's going to be looking, oh, Writer's there. And same thing with Golden Rays, very talented person. People are going to follow Golden. And then at one time, I was doing so much work with Hardy West at Club 90. Everywhere I started going, people started coming just off that. So you still have different people. Excuse me. When I'm working with Hardy West so long at Club 90, I established myself as a go-to person too when it came to bringing attention to new bills. So I made a lot of relationships by posting up at anyone's place who had a grand opening, and sending out my invites to let people know to come to that location. Now, based on all the new things that I do personally, because I am committed to Meta News now, and I am committed to Isha Two Shy's Pure brand. I don't do that much promotions, but I still, when I have free time and when I do have time where I want to just unwind and see what's going on. If I come into your world, you may not know it. I probably sent out about a 200, maybe 300 invites just because I'm sitting there. You may not even know it, and bring people to your location. So that's one thing you can do if you understand how the politics and popularity does work here. You're just looking for people who are popular people already because they have established themselves with either their talent, their skills, or their name in general. It's almost
Hello?
like real world, the name in general. So therefore, you must um you must look at the same things that you would do in real life. You can employ those same things here in Horizon Worlds just by understanding the environment. And the environment is pretty much like any other environment. Everybody is really coming in here to do what they seek to do. So if you are a builder and you want to get attention to your world, those are the first and foremost ways uh, to approach it. And the last and not least, a way that you can pretty much get people to come to your bills and take more interest in your bills. Let's say, for instance, if you do know people who are pretty much good at building, they may not have mastered it yet, but they're pretty much good at building. You can invite those people to be editors on your bills, and you can have names, other names, multiple names of different builders with different styles on your show up on your world page that will invite people to come. So let's say, for instance, another shout out. I got to do it. Another shout out is Dunder. If Dunder touches something, I'm going to see it. If Eldrum touches something, I'm going to see it. Black Jedi, definitely going to see it. So if you have anybody on that level, I'm sorry, one more shout out, Bambi. Bambi always made the best rooms because when I came into Horizon Worlds, Bambi Pie had the worlds that make me want to just really, bring my pillow every time I come into Rising Worlds, and no matter what I do, when I finish, I'm going to one of those rooms to sleep. But anyway, you have all these different characters and all these different skill sets. So if you understand that you can have people on your team to build your world or your project so you can get on projects with others. And last and not least, one of the easiest ways to get people to come to your world, especially when you're want to bring acknowledgement to it, is support others. because people are really in
Do do
need
do do
of
do
creating
do. I like
traffic.
taco
And
taco
when we are
taco
trying to create
taco.
such traffic, um, we're sending our invites out to everybody we have in our list. And and all we need is the max. And we try to keep my max may be 22 people. But we want to keep that max going for as long as we can to make it on the trend list and stay on the trend list as much as possible. Because when you're on the trending list, that's how people are going to come too. Because when they come in to Horizon Worlds, they're going to look at the list, the main menu. They're going to see where the friends are, the trending worlds of the week, and so forth and so on. And that's another way to do so. So when you get your world build, the first thing you do your advertising. You let people know through Instagram. You let your friends know through your by attending events and letting people know you got things coming. And then when you do open up your world, you can go to and select invite and select share, and then when the Dropbox come down, you could send it to it say Horizon Worlds, or I think something like that. I think it says Horizon World. I'm just trying to make sure how that goes, but you can send it out to everybody in your Oculus list, and it just will give an announcement. So if they just so happen to be looking at their Oculus that morning, trying to see what's going on, seeing what's new, they'll see that, and they'll come in as one of their to dos for that day. So I want to thank you for always tuning in to Meta News, because we're Horizon World's premier news source, as we always say. And you can always go to our YouTube channel. That's Meta News for Horizon Worlds VR. That's the YouTube channel, and you can look at all our different segments and all our different shows that we have. We cover everything as a news a real news team would in real life. And we have, like I said, tonight we have we have Johnny in here tonight, Johnny Gage Jr. We have Tyree 1000. I cannot see come forward, but okay, little Bobby VR. These are our guests tonight, and they've stopped by to check out the live recording, as we are recording live tonight. And we thank you guys for showing up, and we thank you for listening. And we would love to see you on our YouTube page. And if you go to our YouTube page and I get over there and I see you that you've made a comment, you commented on the content or the information, make sure that you leave a request for a digital book, because I have a real big catalog of digital books. And if you do so, do that and leave your email there. I will send you a digital book based on based on your participation in helping us keep the dialogue going about meta news. So thank you very much. We're your premier news source, and good night.